Okay, so Morris, thank you so much for your time today. I'm the Popping Crease, otherwise known as, my name's Fatima, so pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Fatima.
Okay, so first up, lots of cricketers, they have like superstitions or patterns that they have to go through, like during a game, before a game. So do you have anything that you have to do pattern-wise, superstitious-wise, before you start a game?
Oh, jeez, I've been asked this question a few times. Not really. I mean, I don't like to get into superstitions or anything, because if you got a superstition, you feel that it works, and then the next game it doesn't work, and all of a sudden you feel like it's a superstition's fault. So, no, I'm pretty relaxed. I don't know. I'm quite inconsistent when it comes to my match day game prep and stuff, but yeah, it's a difficult one. One day, sometimes I like listening to music only, and other days I'm scared I miss out on a conversation, so I've got a bit of FOMO, so I take my earphones off, and I'm quite a mixed bag, to be very honest. I like to make sure that I've got, probably my thing is I like to have more playing kit than I actually need, so I'll always pack 2 extra shirts just in case I sweat too much on the day.
Well, better be safe than sorry, you know.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. It's not really I don't have a set superstition that I go through, or a routine. I just, like I say, it changes from game to game, and yeah, I'm not like other guys where they're very professional and they need silence before the first hour or anything. I've got verbal diarrhea, so especially when I'm nervous, I don't stop talking. So for me, it's just a case of whatever's on the day, I go with.
No, that's awesome. I know, just from watching, I'm a bit superstitious when it comes to cricket. Like, I don't want to move if there's a good partnership going.
Yeah. I know. Look, for that cricket, the older boys have always given me gas if I move with guys having a partnership. But you got to go. So
well, absolutely, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But so last season for RCB, you had a really good season, and considering where you bowled at the start of the innings and at the death, your economy rate was absolutely phenomenal. What was your secret? Because players struggle with this at the death, especially.
Oh, jeez. I'll tell you what, I wish I knew what the secret was. I think it's probably just clarity, clarity and calmness. I use the word acceptance quite a lot, because I accept that batters are there to absolutely murder me. I accept the fact that I'm going to go for boundaries, and I accept that it's a batter's game. So as soon as you accept all of that, you can limit the damage. You accept that it's going to happen, but how do you limit it? So I think thick skin comes into it quite a lot, and I think, like I said, a little bit of clarity in where I wouldn't want the ball to be bowled if I was trying to smack at the end. But look, end of the day, you're playing against world-class batters, and you take it on the chin that they're there to do a job, and you're there to do a job. And on the day, whoever comes out on top, someone has to lose, and whether it's you, 80% of the time it's going to be me that gets met. But the other 20%, when it works, it's quite nice, and you look like a genius. So.
Well, last year it was more than 20%, so you did really well.
Oh man, if I could just stay on the bloody park, man. Damn injuries. But no, look, it's like I said, last year we had quite a good game plan. Our analyst, our bowling coach, was very good at RCB, and just plans came together. But like I say, we're playing against world-class teams, so guys are going to get met.
Yeah, and speaking of, is there any team you're looking forward to playing the most? Perhaps RCB.
Nah, look. I've played a lot of cricket in the IPL. There, I think there's certain teams that you generally don't like. I'm just gonna not get into that, but yeah, playing against old teams is, it's the nature of the beast when it comes to IPL. You're gonna change teams. Some guys are fortunate enough not to have changed teams, but I'm under no illusions that it's sometimes that's the way it has to be. You have to play against your old team. But I think it's always nice to play against South Africans. It's always nice. 2 seasons you want to beat them, and second of all, you get to see them again. So it's always nice to play against the fellow countrymen.
Well, it must be nice if you get to bowl out Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers.
No, it's never nice. It's never nice. I'll be honest. It's never nice bowling to those two, and it was quite nice not to have to do it last year. But like I say, nature of the beast. We just have to crack on.
Yes, absolutely. But now, with it being COVID and having to be safe and everything, you have to live in a bubble. That must be very difficult. So what's been the most challenging thing for you in this experience?
Cheapers. Not lying on my bed all day. That's been probably there. I mean, you get so used to. I mean, I've got gym equipment everywhere. We've got our stuff that we keep ourselves going with. But there's, you spend 2 hours a day doing exercises where it would usually take you 45 minutes. You're spending 2 hours to do an exercise just because you tend to get a little bit lazy. But like I said, lying on my bed watching Netflix or watching YouTube or watching TV when there's cricket on or whatever, it's quite difficult not to it's just snuggle in there, and you're looking at your back seized up and your neck's in a different position where it shouldn't be. So like I've got one of these blow up balls underneath me, and you can see me bouncing every now and then just to keep my body working, keep my core working. So it's quite difficult not to be lazy. I think that's the biggest thing. But look, I'm keeping myself busy. I've got a book that I'm very much into at the moment. Watching a lot of crime series and stuff like that. So broadening my horizon. That's what I'm trying to do. Take the positives out of this thing, and do a little bit of learning.
There we go. So do you watch other cricket while it's on?
I'll have it on in the background. Yeah, I'll have it on. It's always I'm a big believer in you never stop learning. So there might be one thing that you pick up in a game that you might be a pattern that you can maybe use in another game or use against someone. So, there's a lot of trends that tend to go around. I like to watch what trends are going around in cricket, and I just have it on the background. I don't intently watch it, but it'll be there. I might pick up on something that, like the other night was a very good game. Everyone thought the game was over, but
the England-India one.
Exactly. So Sam Curran, almost pulled the rabbit out the hat there. So, I always keep an eye on what's going on, but I like my movies. I like my Netflix. So that takes up most of my time.
Yeah, no, me too. But now the IPL is a very lengthy tournament. And I know that when I go home to London, most of my suitcase is packed with food, like snacks that I can't find in South Africa. So do you perhaps take anything with you to India for a taste of home?
I usually do, but stock standard Chris Morris, I left things to the last minute, and when I ended up packing my bags, all the shops were closed. So I didn't really bring stuff with me this year, but I usually bring just the stock standard, the biltongs, there's a brand that we got at home called Future Life that's got little protein bars and little like cereals and stuff you can pack with. It's called Smart Food and stuff like that. So I put a lot of that stuff in usually, but this year, not really. I've obviously got a lot of supplements that I bring with me, a lot of recovery stuff that I take with me. But otherwise, this year has been my worst year in terms of prepping. But that's what duty free is for. Duty free, always sneak in a box of chocolates or a bottle of something just to keep myself entertained.
Yeah, but in your defense, it has been a difficult year, so you're forgiven.
Exactly, yeah. My brain's a little bit scrambled, but it's all good.
Yeah, no, definitely. So with Rajasthan Royals didn't have the best season last year. I mean, they finished last in the log. What do you think you can bring to the party this year?
Cheapers. That's. I like to think I bring a little bit of enthusiasm, a little bit of experience, a little bit of banter. But I think I do bring a little bit of experience, especially when it comes to IPL. I've played for a few teams now. I think it's my eighth or ninth. Like, maths is never my strong point. But it's I just think I like to bring a little bit of fun element to the game again, because I think a lot of people forget that that's what the game's about. That's why you started the game. That's why you played the game.
Absolutely.
Because it brought you joy and it was fun. So it is professional. It is high intensity. It is, like I said, you're there to win. You're there to do a job, and people have got high expectations of you. But end of the day, if we can get that fun element into the game of cricket that we love so much, I think amazing things happen when you're having fun. I always like to use the example of when you're playing garden cricket, or in South Africa you're playing alley cricket. You do the most amazing things. You take the most amazing catches because you've got a smile on your face and you're having fun. So I want to bring that aspect, but a lot of fun with a lot of seriousness and a lot of intent. So yeah, that's a little bit of experience. And look, I think Rajasthan they were 50-50 most of the games last year. They could have gone either way. So it ended up being quite a close slog at the end. But like I said, they weren't bad last year. They were pretty good actually.
And I have some really world-class players, and yourself included. So hopefully this year's a better season.
Yeah, I mean, look, So the best thing is it can't get worse than last year in terms of position on the log. So, I'm here to help to contribute to win games of cricket. Hope to contribute for us to push for a trophy this year, and not just look at playoff spots, but look at the trophy and go all the way. So, just want to contribute. It's a cliche, but that's literally what I'm here to do. I'm just contribute to wins.
No, that's awesome. Now, did you have any players growing up that were your inspiration that made you want to go into cricket?
Absolutely. So I think first of all is my dad. My dad is a professional cricketer, so my dad's my hero. So you grow up to want to do what your hero does, and he played cricket. So I grew up next to Supersport Park. Literally, watched my dad play there. That's my earliest memory of cricket, is watching my dad play at Supersport Park. So for me to be playing there now is quite cool. But I think just the older you get, you have different mentors in your career in terms of who you follow. But my heroes, I think, were the three stand out. The first one was Alan Donald. White Lightning. He was my guy that I watched. Sean Pollock. But I think probably, and then you get international heroes. And I think my biggest influence in terms of my bowling, in terms of how I wanted to do my thing, was Curtly Ambrose. Absolutely loved him. He was my guy that I watched through and through. I think I frustrated my dad at one stage because I think I became a West Indian supporter for a little bit more than the South African. But just because Curtly Ambrose was my guy. I love the way he went about things. I love the way he did his thing, and I love the way how quick he bowled. But Alan was my first, and Sean Pollock. Those three guys, Alan, Sean Pollock, and Curtly Ambrose, are my three guys that I absolutely adore to watch.
Yeah, Alan Donald is my all-time favorite player. That's what got me into South African cricket. So I feel you on that.
Yeah, no, it's quite cool, the fact that I did my first protest tour was with Alan Donald. I couldn't believe it. So
I'll see that's nice.
When you told me I can call him Al, I thought, oh my goodness, lightning.
But what was nice about Curtly Ambrose and the West Indians of that time, they let their cricket do the talking. They weren't really the sledges that happen in today's game. They just let the ball do the talking.
Most of the time. Most of the time, yeah. Look, no, like I said, the way those guys went about their business, the gas that they bowled and the passion that they showed. And if you want to see who had fun, go watch that West Indian team of that era. They had a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
It was really cool to watch those guys play and to almost have the experience of international cricket with the West Indian guys over the years. It's been pretty cool.
Lovely. Now, I know you mentioned that you haven't had any discussions about the T20 World Cup, but are you perhaps hoping, as myself and a lot of South African supporters are, that if you have a good season in the IPL, given the fact it's in India, it's a T20 format, it might open the door for World Cup selection?
I don't know. I haven't been part of that squad since the 2019 World Cup. So I haven't honestly, and this is the honest truth, I haven't even thought about it. I really haven't. I've been so focused on playing for the Titans. I've been focused on spending time with my family at home, and then obviously this has come along, and I'm a guy that doesn't look too far ahead in the future, and that's the honest truth. I don't look past the IPL. I don't look past. I always joke about people saying, like, especially when you're in teams that have qualified for finals and stuff, are you looking at the final and go, no, you've still got 2 more games to play. I need to focus on these games first before. And I feel if you look too far ahead in the future, you almost miss a few things straight ahead of you. So, I got asked the question early on about, if you have a good IPL, there's a World Cup. Yeah, I said, will the World Cup influence my IPL? And I said, whether there's a World Cup or not, it's not going to affect, because I'm here to win a trophy. I'm here to win games of cricket. So for me to focus on a World Cup now is way too far in the future for me. And that's the honest truth. Our tournament hasn't even started yet, and people are asking questions about a World Cup. And like I read, I haven't been part of the plans since 2019 World Cup. So for me to be even thinking about a World Cup now is a little bit weird, or a little bit it's off the path that's been laid ahead of me now. My path is Rajasthan Royals and IPL, and whatever happens, if that conversation happens in the future, then it'll happen. But until then, I'm not really focused on it.
No, I totally understand. It's just on my when South Africa announced new squads for the ODI series or a T20 series, on my Facebook page, it's always, where's Chris Morris? Why isn't Chris Morris selected? What's happened to Chris Morris? So
Chris Morris was on a plane to Mumbai. That's where he was.
But you have exceptional death skills, and I think that South Africa could very much use those. So I hope personally that you maybe do get there. So that's all the questions I have for you for today.
Thank you so much, Fatima. I appreciate it. It was lovely to meet you.
Thank you, you too. And I hope you have a very successful IPL.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We'll chat soon.